Creamer Media's Mining Weekly is speaking to Glen Mc Gavigan, the Executive Head of Technical and Projects for Kumba Iron Ore. Glen, can you update us on the new technology adoption by Kumba?
Yeah, thanks, Martin. Yeah, I think Kumba's been on a journey for since 2014, where we made a conscious decision to modernize our business. We've been mining, for example, Sishen for the last 40 years. We opened quite a new mine at Kolomela in 2008. But the technology we had implemented, we always talk about the Australians being far ahead and other industries being far ahead of us. Mining really did need and especially us, we needed a modernization drive. So we had a conscious effort in 2014 to put a strategic imperative to modernize our business, and it really was around two key drivers. Firstly is safety, and then productivity. Technology is just never for the sake of technology. It really must tick one of those two boxes, and preferably both. To drive value. So we've been on this drive since 2014. The first phase of our technology implementation was really more around the hardware. So if you think, we had to upgrade a lot of our systems, we had to upgrade our industrial networks, our Wi-Fi, to be able to be ready for this coming revolution in technology. So we spent a lot of time and effort in the early part of this journey, really getting the backbone in place. That's not the exciting stuff, but it's the essential stuff. You can't put advanced technologies on top of old IT networks. So we spent a lot of time and effort on that. And then we started hooking into that. So from 2014 to 2017, it really was about, looking at getting sensors into our business, trying to collect data, a lot more data. Also, looking at, we rolled out a fleet of drones. We got 14 drones that are flying around the mine, collecting data, as and when we need it, spatial data, which has been really valuable for us. And then we started delving into, programs that we call operator assist. So how do you make, both the operator and the piece of gear that they operate the safest and the best they can be? And then also we started looking at automation where it makes sense. So that's been the drive up until, I would say late 2017, 2018. And now we're really starting to focus on integration, and looking at the data analytics. And, now that we're collecting all this data, how do we make ourselves smarter? So that's our focus at the moment, along the journey.
And are you finding that it's beneficial? I mean, are you seeing safety improving? Are you seeing the productivity improving?
Yeah, so definitely. I mean, just on the safety front, if you think at Kolomela, we automated all of our blast hole rigs. And when I say automated, we moved all of the operators into a state-of-the-art remote center situated on the mine, where those drills are now being operated, from that center. So again, a lot safer, out of the dust, out of the noise, not out of exposure. Basically, exposure has been turned to zero. And if you think, one of the other projects we're really proud of is, we developed, at Sishen and Kolomela, we've got, between the two mines, we've got about 140 trucks that are running, and these are really big trucks, between 170 and 300 ton trucks. And one of our biggest risks was always the collision of these trucks, both firstly with themselves and other gear, but then also with light vehicles. And in conjunction with Komatsu and Hexagon Mining, we developed the first in the world autonomous braking solution for these trucks. So what it does, it basically uses radars, and if the truck detects an imminent collision and the operator doesn't take action, the truck will automatically brake itself, to avoid that collision. So, we rolled that out to the 100 trucks at Sishen, and we're busy at Kolomela. And since we've rolled the system out, we haven't had one vehicle-on-vehicle incident at Sishen. So there's definite benefits in terms of safety, and that fits into our operator assist program. So the operators on the machine, how do you make them the safest make the person the safest they can be? So definitely seeing definite tangible benefits coming through there.
And I just want to look at exploration again and the new technology. Have you been using new technology on the exploration front as well, and the latest around your exploration?
Yeah, so on the exploration fronts, exploration's probably been in terms of technology, been neglected for a while. If you think about the drill rigs, 10 years ago, they're fundamentally different now. So exploration started to catch up. We partnered with Rosant, who's our drilling partner, and we're rolling out a fleet of new generation drill rigs at Sishen, Kolomela, and at our exploration division, which basically go completely autonomous rod handling, so no more manual handling on the drill rig. And also, all of the drills are operated from air-conditioned cabins, away from the machinery. So we've definitely adopted technology in the exploration space, keeping up with what's happening on the mines. So we've seen great benefits of that. And one of the benefits, is we've been able to now at Sishen have our first all-lady drilling crew, which we think is definitely the first in South Africa. So the technology is enabled to transform the business as well. So that's an added benefit of technology on the exploration front.
And what is your latest on the exploration front? Where are you looking?
Yeah, so look, we're obviously always looking on our mines. So that's obviously the first place you look. But we've always said that the area between Sishen and Kolomela we still view as prospective. So we are actively drilling between those between our two operations. That's that's an 80-kilometer strike area that we're drilling. We did announce one of our projects, Heunenkrans, late last year, which is a new discovery for us, and we're busy drilling that project. So we're active in the area, and we've also got a few additional targets we've started drilling up. So we still view the area as very prospective.
And is all this jobs positive, jobs negative, jobs neutral? What happens to the jobs when you automate?
Look, I see maybe there's two bits there. So there's technology and there's automation. So I mean, just in terms of how I view technology and sustainability go hand in hand. In my view, you can't separate them. And if I just take an example, there's two examples. From a technology perspective, if you look around the world and even in our own backyards, the ore body grades are declining. And so there's a piece of work and everyone's thinking about how do you beneficiate better, to utilize your resource better, extend life of mines. So that's a key technology focus around beneficiation. If you think about Sishen, Sishen started out as a very high grade mine that was beneficiating, 60% plus material, 60% iron ore. We put in some new technology at that stage, which was called jigs. We brought that cutoff grade down to 50%. Now we're starting to talk about a technology called ultra-high dense media separation, which will lower that cutoff grade any further. And the beauty of technology on the beneficiation side is for the same mining effort, you get more ore. So technology and beneficiation really is about, extending life, making marginal ore bodies, more profitable or profitable, like that. And then on the technology, then the other portion of technology is around, implementing, technologies in mining. So for me, it's about how do we use technology to open more mines? Because at the end of the day, that's what creates jobs. So if you can apply technology and, significantly lower your costs and improve your productivity and open a new pit or open a new mine, that creates thousands of jobs. So that's the way I view technology. And then, what we've seen when we put technology in, for example, at Kolomela, when we automated the drill rigs, it changed the nature of the job. So the majority of the people went to a control room, but we also were very purposeful about, reskilling and upskilling people to do other jobs in the business. So, for what we've seen in technology that we've implemented, we haven't seen a net reduction in headcount or people. It is really about how you transform those skills into something else. But for me, technology is sustainability, and it's about extending life of mines, opening new pits, and opening new mines. That's what the real benefit is for us.
And that hot Northern Cape sun, I always look at it and think perhaps you should be generating some renewable energy from that. Are you in the field of renewables doing something?
So we're looking at it. So obviously being in the Northern Cape, it's the second most solar attractive area in the world, behind the Nevada desert. So obviously it makes sense to start looking at it. And ever since we've Minister Mantashe announced that mines can look at generating their own electricity. Well, it is something we are starting to look at. So we haven't got a project or anything at the moment, but it is definitely something that we are considering and looking at. Yeah.
And your group is looking at it, and it's even looking at using excess renewables to generate hydrogen, and then using that hydrogen to mobilize the trucking. What is your view on that?
Yeah, so I mean, if you've got sunlight and you've got water, you can generate hydrogen. So that definitely is something we're looking at. Anglo American is looking at piloting this at Mogalakwena, and we're watching it very closely. We've got a big fleet of trucks. Like I said, 140 trucks. We use a lot of diesel, and which obviously got a large footprint, carbon footprint. So we're watching it very closely, and we'll definitely look to actively participate in that project as it develops through Anglo. So it's a very exciting project.
And it seems to me that you're not just going to go for technology's sake. You want it to really match what we need in South Africa. And does most of what's going on in the world go ahead of us in a way that we don't want to journey, or are we able to pick and choose and find the right route when it comes to technology?
I think for us, it's always about, what does the business need, and what do we need from a safety and productivity perspective. So from a Kumba perspective, we always said, we'll be very fast followers in technology, and that stood us in good stead. Where we need to develop technology, we will. For example, we've partnered around the UHDMS to co-develop that technology. But where it makes sense, we fast follow and put in. The Anglo American group has got quite a significant technology development program which looks at technologies for the future. And obviously, we piggyback on that whenever those technologies mature and develop. So we've got a good focus on what's the here and now, implementing rapidly, but also making sure we keep focus on what's developing in the technology development field.
That was Creamer Media's Mining Weekly, speaking to Glen Mc Gavigan, the executive head of technical and projects for Kumba Iron Ore.